Hey. Hello, everyone. My name is Martina, and you can become a winner with me, Martina. I'm going to blow my drum. Become a winner. With Martina. Become a winner with Martina. Hey, how are you doing, guys? Wait, let me just add people. You know, I always ask, how are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Today is a very beautiful day for the ladies. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is very important, and I want every woman, guys, every woman, even if you're a man, I'm definite that you know a woman, you know somebody that knows somebody that needs to hear this message. So you're going to help me add the women, okay, to this live that I'm doing today. Hold on, let me just add people. I'm going to add as many women as possible, and then we can go on from there. How are you guys doing? I always ask this question. I hope you guys are doing okay. If you're doing fine, thank God. If you are not doing fine, you still have to give thanks to God. God says in everything we should give him thanks. Yeah. So today I'm talking about, are you intentional about the 3 most important C's of your life? Many women don't know the C's, but I'm going to tell you guys today. Hold on, I'm getting distracted. Let me just add so many people. This is the perfect time to do the video because my babies are sleeping. Everybody's sleeping. So it's very good to do the video at this time. So make sure you are adding people. Please, women, ask me questions in this exact video. Don't watch this video alone. Share it with your friends as much as possible. This video, if it doesn't bless you, I don't know what else is going to bless you, but let's just be going first. How are you guys doing? Okay, I think I've added a lot of people. Let me see if I've added everybody. Please add and make sure you invite people to watch the video whilst I continue. Hold up. I'm just trying to add more people. I'm still using style. What's style? I'm using style to add and wait for people to join the video whilst I'm adding people. It seems like I'm adding only women. Let me add some men, because those men, they will have their wives, you know, hopefully, or they will have their sisters or whatever, you know. I don't know. Okay, I think I've added enough people. How are you guys doing? I've asked that question. Okay, so let me go ahead. Hi, how are you people doing? Okay, I'm starting this live video. I know it's not the normal time. Usually I'll start at 9, but I'm starting way before time because I'm trying to profite as my girls are sleeping. Profite is like use that opportunity that they are sleeping. Okay, let me start with this perfume. Can you see it? Okay. This perfume, my daughter gave this perfume to me sometime recently when she had gone to visit her father. And when she got back, she gave me this perfume. For some reason, I haven't used the perfume. I didn't get to use it. I didn't have any plans of using it. I was telling myself I'll use the perfume, you know, I'll give it out or something. And the only reason was because of the reason why she bought the perfume for me. It's not like I didn't appreciate it. I appreciate what my daughter gave to me. And just so you know, if you're watching and you don't know my daughter yet, my daughter is an 11-year-old. She's going to be turning 12. And if you don't know my story so far, I just recently got divorced from her father. So she bought me this perfume. When she bought it for me, I'm like, wow, this is nice. You know, and she says, Mommy, I got you this perfume because Papa's girlfriend, the father has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend is with them, has the same exact perfume. And I felt so bad that Papa is buying her things and he didn't buy for you, for me to see. So I decided to pick this one up for you. So apparently we have the same perfume. So both her Papa's girlfriend and me now have the same perfume. At first, yeah, I said, wow, thank you, you know. But again, I'm not that kind of mother, you know. So for me, everything is a learning process for me and my girls. So when she bought the perfume, I said, so why did you pick the perfume? But they didn't ask you to buy from me. She said, yes, but it's unfair that Papa's girlfriend would have this kind of nice things and you won't have this kind of nice things. And, you know, that got me thinking. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is time for me to teach you something that is the most important. And I'm using this story because I'm going to be teaching one woman the same thing that I taught my daughter. I love the perfume. It's nice. And to be honest, just like my daughter said, her father did not buy me this type of perfume before. And I'm not being condescending. He's a very nice man. There are other things that he has done for me, you know, but he wasn't the kind of person that used to show me love affection based on gifts. I didn't used to receive. That wasn't his love language, but he's a nice person. But gifts was not part of his love language to me. So my daughter was being jealous on my behalf. And this is what I taught my daughter, and I'm going to teach you people. I'm starting with the story. And I said to my daughter, you don't have to be jealous for me. You don't have to buy the perfume for me because the girlfriend is using the perfume. Because if that's the case, if he buys her a car, then that means we have to buy a car for me. If he takes her on vacation, that means I have to go on vacation. Before you know it, you are on an unnecessary journey or an unnecessary competition with somebody that you shouldn't even be competing with in the first place. And that means that it boils down to you not knowing who you are and who your essence is as a woman. And to be honest with you, if I didn't correct that notion for my child as an 11-year-old, she probably will grow up with that mentality that it has to be a thing of competition and power tussle and all of those kind of things. So I had to bust that myth. But how many of you women have busted that myth? How many of you aren't like my daughter? How many? Very rarely. When people see me the way I am right now, how I'm handling my divorce, how I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and people wonder, how am I coping? You have 4 kids, you're doing this, you're doing that. It can only be the grace of God and some level of understanding that the Holy Spirit has given to me as a person. That gift, it's not everybody that is given to. Some people have to learn it. That's why I'm sharing the experience with you guys, so you can learn it and use it and run for yourself. And so I told my daughter, I said, see, there are certain things you must start to know as a lady, even from when you are small. And those things are the 3C's. Those 3C's, they are the most important thing that you must be intentional about. And I honestly wish that I knew some of the things that I know now. My life would have been different. So if you're listening to me, if you're hearing what I'm saying to you, then you are privileged. That means that God really loves you. If you're listening and you for any reason find yourself that, this thing hasn't happened to me, and I was privileged to hear this conversation, just immediately say, God, may your name be praised, because if you can learn from people's mistake, you want to do so. So I said, as a woman or as a girl, even from a girl, so even you're a parent, you're a mom, you have to teach your children this thing I'm teaching you guys. When you finish learning it, you apply it for your life, you start teaching your children. I told my daughter, I said, there are 3 things you must concern yourself with as a woman, and you must be intentional about it. It has to be on a daily basis. Number 1, as a woman, you need to know your calling. I didn't know my calling for a very long time. I thought I knew what my calling was. I didn't know what my calling was. And for me, I just noticed a pattern in some certain things. So many women don't even know that they have a calling. Somebody told me, I was talking to the same friend I told you I was talking to 2 days ago before I did my video yesterday. She was talking to me and she said, Martina, do you know I noticed this and this and this? I feel like this is your calling. Like almost 5 or 7 or 8 people said the same thing and have always been saying the same thing. The issue is a lot of us don't concern ourselves with our calling. We say that we want to do our calling, but we are not concerning ourselves with it. We are chasing other things. If you ask a woman who is 29 years old now, what do you want? She'll tell you husband. outrightly. You just say, I want my own family, I want my own missing ripple. No, ma, no, ma, no, ma. That cannot be the first. Look at your 3C's. The first C of your life that you must be intentional with is your calling. Now, somebody will say, Martina, you have changed your videos. You're no more doing business videos. Okay, because business video is my career. My calling is different from my career. Your calling is different from your career. And this is what a lot of women don't know. So you can be a pharmacist. That is your career. But you should know your calling. And you should work in your calling. A lot of us women, especially African women, nobody is telling us about our calling. Nobody is prepping us. Nobody is reminding us. Most people, even when they are asking questions, they are thinking about their career instead of their calling. They are thinking of, oh, what can I do to make money? Yes, I want to be impactful, but the intent is more of money. When in your heart, your intent is more of, I want to be doing something as an extra stream of income. That's your career. You're thinking of how you can make money. But let's start with your calling. A woman who knows her calling, she's not a bitter person. I know my calling now. I wish I knew it a way long time ago. If you know your calling, you can't be bitter. You can't be resentful. You can't be angry. You are doing your life one step at a time, intentionally. This is why I always use that word. I've been using this word for over 4, 5, 6 years. Even when I didn't even understand my calling. So me, what is my calling? I noticed that I am able to advise people. Guys, I'll be going through problems. I will give people solution to their problems. Like I will tell them the same thing and it will work for them. I notice people will come and tell me things. Martina, I'm going through problems with my husband. I'll give them the solution. Oh yeah, do this, do this, do this, do this. And in my life, it's not working. I know that I give people peace in their homes. I'm noticing that whatever I tell people, they put it to use. People are able to multiply whatever information I give them. I'm an information person. You come to me, there is something that you're coming to me. You can't have a discussion with me and I don't know something to tell you. That's what I've noticed about me. And it began to dawn on me that, could it be that that's your calling? Could it be that that's your calling? So, all along, I'm chasing my career. Oh, I want to be in business growth and a digital marketing person. That's what I'm chasing. That's what I'm chasing. That's what I'm chasing. But if you're a woman, the first thing you want to be able to do as a woman is to understand, who am I? What did God bring me to this world for? That's your calling first. What am I in this world for? You need to know it. You cannot be saying you don't know. You must know. When you know what you are in this world for, you will not have time for unnecessary pettiness. You won't have time to be thinking of a man. You won't have time to want to be... If you are a woman right now and you've put something else over your calling, you don't know the purpose for why you have been created. And that is the truth. If you say marriage is what you're, or children, or this one, or that means that you don't know what God has called you for. And that is why I'm giving you this information. Your calling is the most important thing that you have come to this earth for. And if you know your calling, you'll be able to have your... So what are the 3C's? Your calling, your career, and your covering. So many women, if you're a woman right now, if you don't know your calling and you're not working with your calling, you don't have any business looking for a virtuous husband. If you have not watched my virtuous man video, go and watch it. It's a video before this video. A virtuous man is going to find a woman. He's looking for a virtuous woman. That virtuous woman, contrary to what they tell us in the churches, the virtuous woman understands her calling. This is why we will see women in the Bible, people like Deborah. A lot of people call Esther, but for me, the most important example of a woman that understood her calling was Deborah in the Bible. But let me not do Bible style, because when we are doing Bible style, a lot of people don't like Bible style. So let me do practical layman style for you people. So if you know your calling, any husband, before you go to a husband, you should understand your calling. Before you even say, I want to be married, it's not because you are 25 years old. That is why a man will find you. Because one of the most important things in your life is your calling. And if you don't know it, it will not help you see the best man that can cover you. Which for me as a person, I feel like that is the most important mistake I made of my life. The important mistake of my life is I did not know my calling. If I knew my calling, number one, I wouldn't have been married. I wouldn't have made the mistake of marriage where I'll now have a divorce. Because if you understand your calling, you will attract the same equal energy of the man that is going to cover you. If I knew that my calling is always to help people, give people advice, give to the church, I will not have a problem. If I'm looking for a man, any man I tell him that I want to give pastor money, and he said that your pastor is, I will not even go with him. If I understood that that was my calling. So a lot of us, we don't know our calling. We don't know what we are doing. We are just there living life. I'm 20 years, I'm going to have a boyfriend, I'm going to marry. It's a lie. Before you marry, come with your A game. Come with that game, where you understand who you are as a woman. It's not, I have CCCA, APPA, this one, you know what, I can stand alone. No, that's your career. That's not your calling. My dear, if you have career, you don't have calling, you will meet Bobo Yaya men, and they will deal with you. That's why they've dealt with people like me. We are many. And they will drop you like a bad habit that you will even forget what you were in this world for. Understanding your calling. So what is your calling? For me, my calling, I feel like my calling is to be a mediator. I'm that one person that you come to, you confide in, and I give you solutions, godly solutions. If I've ever advised you, say it in the platform. I must give you. They always say, you know so many things. It is not me knowing, it's the Spirit of God that makes me to be that kind of detective, nosy person. I'm always reading one thing. I might just be online. I have almost 30 stuff open up. I'm reading one thing, reading one documentary, reading even things that are not in my field. I'm gaining knowledge, so that because one person is going to come to me that is going to need it. My inbox, every day I'm counseling people, and I'm not making money out of it. But I notice that it's enriching people's lives more than anything else. That's my calling. My darling, you who's listening to me, what is your calling? Have you understood what your calling is? Don't tell me your career. Don't tell me your career. Almost says counselor. Almost, if your calling is a counselor, then you need a career as well, which is different from your calling. Now, if you say, let's use Omo that says counselor. If you say counselor is your calling, that means that as you are a counselor, you know that you're a counselor. Any man you are going to be looking for, or any man that is going to be covering you, you must veto him and vet him to the point where every angle of your calling. Oh, you mean me, counselor? Thank you. Okay, me. Okay, almost agreeing, counselor. Yes. So I feel like I'm that kind of person. I don't want to say counselor because I don't have any degree in counseling like that. But I feel like a lot of people take what I say and it works for them. And so, yes, let me just use the word mediator. Kingdom Mediator. Yes, that's the right word. In fact, I should go and Google that word and keep it. Nobody should take my name. Oh. If I see that name has gone, I'll know that one person is a bad person here. Yeah, so if you understand this calling that you have, okay, it will help you that even when you need a career, you'll be taking your career based on your calling. You see, we do our career based on what we think we like. Because we've not understood the calling, God actually put those things we say, oh, I like this, I like that, I like that, okay? God put those things that we like to align with our calling, but we don't understand it. So that's the first thing you want to be able to say for yourself. If you say, okay, like me now that I'm a counselor, yeah? If I'm a counselor and that's my calling, my career should be in that part. So that everything I will be doing will be in alignment. If I'm not following I'm looking for a husband or a covering, whoever is going to cover me must like those kind of things. If he doesn't like those kind of things, if he's not in line with that thing that I'm doing, there is no point in being with me because he won't be able to cover me. So many women, they drop their calling, their career for their covering or for the companionship of what they are looking for. That is a disservice and dishonor to yourself as a woman, as a God flesh-giving woman. And that is the mistake a lot of women are making. And women, I'm talking to you, stop making those mistakes. Stop making those mistakes. That's what I want to tell you. Your calling is very, very important to anything that you're doing. So this was what I was advising my daughter. I said, look, my darling, I know who I am because she's coming to me now, changing lives through speaking to people and a helper. Or I give it a name. Oh, is this your own calling? Is this for you, or are you seconding my calling, or this is your calling, Jennifer? Okay, tell me, let me know. Is this your own calling or my calling? Let me know. Okay, so as I was saying, I was talking to my daughter. I was telling her, I said, see, if you already know yourself, and the time I was talking to her, I had already known myself. I said, my dear, you don't need to buy me perfume. Say, no, mommy, but you have 7, and she has almost 60 pieces of perfume. And I'm like, okay, where is she going to with the perfume? You're yours, Jennifer, I'm going to use yours as an example. Where is she using that perfume to go to? She will spray it. She can only spray one at a time. Higher, she mix 3. Once she mix more than 3, she has entered another madness level. That means you are not expected to use more than 3 at a time. Let's imagine that you're the type that likes to mix and maybe you want to have a distinctive smell. I personally like perfume. Those who went to my secondary school, Pat explain to them, how many perfume where they get? As in, like, I had a particular guy that likes me. That one, he would just bring like maybe 20 or 30 bottles of perfume and give to me. I'll be sharing it and be giving people. So I'm someone who is a perfume person. And I told my daughter, I said, see, she can have 60 because she doesn't have children. I cannot afford to have 60 right now because I will not be able, unless people are dashing me the 60, but me buying 60 is like, I don't know what to use with my money. There are children that I sponsor. Those children, they've not eaten. I'm giving them money, even if it's 5,000, whatever. You people that are my 4 children, I've not finished with 2 people. I now want to buy 60 bottles of perfume and keep it. That is a disservice and dishonor to the wealth that God has given to me. And she says, oh, mommy, oh. And I'm speaking to her because I understand what my calling is. Any other woman who didn't understand her calling will start getting angry, bitter, will want to be doing competition, will want to say, hey, she has 60. Which other girl? Tell me the names of the perfume. A lot of women send their children to do these things. It is petty because you don't understand your calling. If you understand your calling, no man from Ahara man, according to my friend Chindak Manja, Chindak will say Ahara. No Ahara man will come and say, I want to find you. So even when they are coming, they think they are attracted. You don't have time for those kind of men because you are seeing that, look, you are not, it's not a matter of standard or quality. It's, are you in line with my calling? It's not more a thing of, this man is not in my class because of money. No, it's, are you helping me do destiny? And love to smell well, my friend. Hey, Patman knows I love to smell well. Thank God, Patman lived with me and her. We are housemates, so she knows. I love smelling good. I love perfume so much. So when my daughter was presenting it, I laughed. I'm like, look, it's only who has not tasted that kind of life that will be overly bitter. And I told her, you don't need to do that for me. You don't need to be jealous for me. You don't need to. Don't be that kind of woman who is jealous or who has an envy spirit. Because me, I'm looking at it like, what's perfume? Me that used to give out. Then I'll now be the one now saying, I must have it. Although it's a nice perfume, I appreciate. I used it today for the first time. I sprayed it before I did this video. You know, I'm like, you know what? My daughter bought this thing in love, even though the intent was not right. Because for me, I'm all about what is your intent. I always tell my children, what is your intent? I said, even if this is not the right intent, because you had the mind to buy it, you know, and everything, I'm going to use it. So I used it today for the first time. She has bought it for over, maybe the last time she went on holiday. That's when she bought me this perfume. That means she's thoughtful. But I needed to clear that air. Because this is how our children now start to get this information or this notion in their heads and everything. You cannot, as a woman, if you don't understand your calling, okay, you cannot be the best helper as a man. You say you are a helpmate. If you don't know your calling, you cannot be a good helper. This is why we will have a lot of problems, because you don't know your calling. If you don't know your calling, you cannot be a good helper. You cannot say, I am a virtuous woman. Virtuous woman doesn't mean that because you go to church, you speak in tongues. There are many speaking in tongues ladies that know God, but they don't know their calling. And so they can't help the man that is supposed to cover them. Look at Deborah in the Bible. Why was she able to meet the man that covered her? Why? Because she knew what she was. She knew the calling that God had given to her, her position. And she wasn't a bitter person. She told the man, look, this your victory you're looking for, you're going to get it. But it will not be for you, it will not be for me, it will be for another woman, Jael. Now, people know I have my daughter Jael, but okay. So it will be for another woman. That's what your calling makes you do. Your calling makes you to be at peace with all men. You are not unnecessarily angry. You're able to forgive people. You're able to forbear. These are part of what you're calling, because you know you're more than whatever situation that is around you. Why do I come and tell you people, you know what, now I'm going through a lot of tough times? Why? There are some people that they can never. I've seen some, hi Liz, happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you, darling. How are you doing? There are some people, okay, I've seen some consultants or some coaches or some strategists. Everything that comes out of their mouth is good times. They never show their followers anytime that they've been having bad problems. Why am I able to tell you people, oh, I've been going through a lot of problems in the last 6, 7, 8 months? Why? Because I know my calling. I know as a person that, you know what, I might be going through a lot of stuff, but that's not me. Hey, that's just situations around. And they are there not in the negative. Because most people think that, a lot of people say, hey, maybe you don't know what you did to your husband. You see, that's why things are not working for you. Darling, no, it's not everything that is bad. Not every bad thing that is happening to your life is happening because of something. No, sometimes it's God's way of lifting you, catapulting you to the next level. If I did not have that divorce, will I be teaching people about who the woman should be? What are her 3C's? I probably won't even be thinking. I'll be talking about business. I will not be engineered to be talking. I will be doing my video of my business and be going. But with what I'm going through, with the women that have come to me, there is that urge and that burden to say, you know what, talk to these women. Now I'm aligning myself with my calling. If I had the right man covering me and in alignment with my calling, okay, I would have been doing my calling a long time ago, because it has always been in me. This is not the first time I'm advising you women. There are many women, even before I married, that used to come and meet me for marriage conversation. And I used to advise people. I have told you people severally, those of you who are consistent with my video, you will hear me tell you, people come to my inbox, it's not for business, they're talking about their personal life, and I have to stay with them, pray with them, do other things with them. That does not concern the video that I did that brought them to me in the first place, because I didn't understand my calling. And women, hear me, there is no bad man. Contrary to what we think, there is no man that is bad. Everybody, every human is good. Do you know even the devil has people that he likes? Witches and wizards, they have friends. They have people that are their friends. Armed robbers, they have people that they will see on the road. The day they want to kill you, they say, no, leave this person. And they will leave you. You'll be exempted. Why? Because everybody has some sort of good in them. So when I see women come on social media and become overly bitter when things don't go their way, either in friendship or in relationship with their spouses or whatever, it just shows that they haven't matured. Just example with my spouse. What betide me if I tell you people that he's a bad person? He didn't treat me nicely. He didn't treat me nicely, but it's also dishonor for me to say he's bad, because he's a good father to his children. And as we can see, he's a good boyfriend to his girlfriend. If their own love language is about perfume and all those things. So I know my calling, I cannot be bitter. He's just not that man for me. At least so far so good that I know he's not the person for me. Why? It is evidence because he wasn't supporting me to do my destiny. My destiny is that of which I have to talk to somebody, and every day he's fighting for that thing we're talking about. My destiny is to help people, and every day, you're always with people, you're always this, you like people too much, can't you be on? So that's not the person for me. So women, stop looking at the problem from the other person. Look at the problem from within you yourself. Before you start accusing that man of not being loving, have you loved yourself? Have you understood yourself? If you understand your calling, you will attract the right man. You will attract the right covering for yourself. So your calling, a lot of people, they are saying, okay, I want a husband. I want a husband. You've not known your calling. You've not dealt with your career. But you are looking for husband. True, if you meet your match, it will work. Exactly. If you meet the right person, and you cannot meet that person if you are not in the essence, the aura, everything. If it's not oozing out of you, nobody can come and attract it. This is why I tell women, you must know yourself. You must be intentional. Even with the things you are saying. This is why I was telling single mothers the other day that if you can remarry, even if you have 5, how many people I have like more than 5 people that are talking to me. It's just that I'm weighing them. The God part of what I'm looking for is not in them. If I was someone who was looking for money, by now I would have gotten a new relationship and be fronting it to you people. But that's not what I want. I now understand my calling, and I'm operating in my calling. I'm operating in my calling. The second thing a woman must have, the second C that you must be conscious about, you must be intentional about, is your career. My darling, there is nothing like stay-at-home mom. You cannot be a stay-at-home mom. Every woman needs a career. You're having your calling and you have a career. Somebody say, how can you even be how can you be a stay-at-home mom and execute perfectly if you've not had a career? How can you be a virtuous wife if you've not had a career? And I'm talking of a professional one. You can be a stay-at-home mom, but you're a professional stay-at-home mom. That means that you know all the rudiments about staying at home mom. This is to your answer to your question. Those of you who say, how do you manage with your children? It's because I've been a career person. I know what it is to multitask. These are some of the things that they require from you on the job. The multitasking skill. I learned it from the job, and I'm able to transfer it into motherhood. That means I can be on the phone, I can be doing the video, the baby is crying, I'm not answering them because I know the difference in the cry. So many times you people will hear my baby cry. There are sometimes they cry, I don't answer. There are sometimes they cry, I have to leave the video and go off. If you've been following my video, watch these patterns. That means I am aware, I'm intentional. I know who is, even when the two twins, they are crying, I know who is crying. Which of them is the one crying? I know that. So you are a woman now, you are not thinking, you know what, I don't just want to work for anybody, I want to be a businesswoman. No, you need somewhere, you need to go somewhere where you can learn. You cannot just start up and say, I want to just be working for myself. That's not to say being an entrepreneur is not good, or being self-employed is not good, but you need to go and do a career first where you can learn all these things. You want to learn how to be a manager so you can manage your home. You want to learn how to be patient, because if you just come out from nowhere, you come out from school, you don't know your calling, and then you don't have a career, you just become a mom because your husband has money, you are now a CEO, he opens a shop for you, I guarantee you, you are not going to be able to manage it. What I've learned over time is, let me tell you something, the most important thing that God wants for us, especially if we are Christians, is to have everything we have in abundance, and we should be able to have it sustainably and replicable. If that is not the case, my dear, you are in error. You are just wasting your time. If you cannot sustain whatever grace you have, whatever money you have, whatever thing that you have, if you can't sustain it and it cannot be replicable, you are wasting your time. There's something in error in your life, and you need to check what that is. This is why you must have that career. It's small, even if you are staying at home and doing the career, work from home career, do it. But you must go under the tutelage of somebody so that you learn how it is, how that's your annoying. I can remember when I was working with Nissan, one of my supervisors, I was on break. I didn't come for like 2 or 3 days. My locker, she opened my locker, removed everything that was in my locker. And me, when I'm in my office, those of you that have worked in my office with me, I like to have my office corner is so pretty. Like, everybody used to come to my desk. They say, Martina, where do you find all this pretty? My pen will be different. I will have one small fan. I will have one back pillow, although they said I should not be bringing the pillow to work. You know, I always have these cute things, you know. I'll have bubble gum. I'll have chocolate. Anybody that comes to my desk, I have something I'm giving to you. Is either chocolate or sweet or whatever. They'll just come, Martina, hi. You know, all these UK people, they used to do style begging. All of you living in the UK, people don't give, but you like to collect. Okay, so, but they will do style begging. Martina, hi, blah, blah. They will take one sweet. Or I'm always we are sure having something to chew on my table anywhere I work. Now this my boss, she opened my locker and she removed everything from my locker. She liked the space where my locker was, and when she removed it, she put it in another space. And guess what? I had money inside the book, and the book was another of my colleague that borrowed me the book to read, because when I'm passing time, we don't have any phone calls. I'll just be reading the book. And that my colleague, the guy was one kind. Let me not talk about him, Sha. So, but he was a one kind guy. Now all of a sudden I came back. I didn't see my locker. I wanted to open my locker to take my coffee. I couldn't find my locker. What's happening? They said my boss had removed my locker. I'm like, how dare you take my things without letting me know? I mean, like, if this was not in the office, I will beat you or something, or like talk to you. You know, I was furious. I was very angry. Thank God that on that job, you see me, I used to say my own before they hired me, I told them that one thing, I don't know how to hide my mouth. If you offend me, I will tell you immediately. That's my kind of person. And I told them the day they hired me that is who I am. That if anybody offends me, I will let you know. Then me, I get tired of things easily. So I need to reshuffle. So don't put me in one place for a long time. It will tire me. I like to be creative. This was what I told them. I said, no, since I told these people that I can talk to them, I'm going to ask this lady where she kept my thing. We'll look for the book. We didn't find it. I went to her, I said, excuse me, you know, and she wasn't remorseful. Why am I giving you this story? If it wasn't like in the office space, you know, I won't know how to deal with someone who is not remorseful. But because I've experienced that, when I now had a spouse who never says sorry, I wasn't angry about it, because you know what, I've dealt with this thing. And guess what, it's so painful, because that my boss, I'm older than her. She's like 20 something years old. She's like 23 or 24 years old, as you can imagine. And then I was already 30 something. So I'm having a boss that you've done me something wrong. You've taken my thing. I can't find the book. I can't find my money. And the owner of the book was not causing. No, I gave you something. You don't have integrity. The guy like opened fire for me there, you know. Meanwhile, book, no be me take am, I put am inside my locker. Just imagine that scenario. It can only imagine if I was self-employed. Nobody would try that nonsense. But I had to learn that on the job. And so when I now got married and I see myself saying sorry for something that I did not do, I had already learned that on the job. I'll be right back. Let me attend to Zen. Okay, partner. I'd already learned that on the job. So that's why it's important that you must have that career. You must know, okay, this is my career. This is what I'm doing for my life. I'm a business growth. I'm a digital marketing strategist. And your career, the money you make from your career is not supposed to be using for doing the man's job. I told you people, I've already explained virtuous man. When we're talking of covering, I will touch on it. Your career, why are you having a career? For rainy days. Just in case something happened and maybe your husband now doesn't have that money, then you will bring your own. Your own is not to come and use it to be feeding the family. No, you are doing the man's work. And if you were doing your destiny, you would have attracted the right man that can take care. You wouldn't need to be the one paying children's school fees. Trust me, the most important thing is that calling. If you are in obedience with your calling, your covering will be automatic. You will find someone that will cover you well, whether you're married now or when you want to marry. So you will not be with a man who will not be thinking, my wife paid it. No, if that your money will not be for, maybe he's on a trip or something and you need to do something urgently. Maybe they want to pay for something and he's not around. You know, say, okay, instead of waiting for him, let me just pay. When he comes back, he'll pay me back my money. And when he comes, he'll give you in double. That is what will now be happening. That you're going your career is just for extra. So that means that even in your career, it's not like you're overly looking for millions, because this is another mistake a lot of people make. A lot of women want to make an impact in their career. No, your career is not for impact. It is your calling that brings about the impact. Your career is your career to make money, and that money is supposed to be a complementary to whatever your husband is doing, so you can be a helper. So you can actually outrightly help. So you have your money. And you are having these things before the covering. This is why I'm not talking about husband first. I started with your calling. In this order. It must be in this order. It cannot be you're having your career before your calling. So that's where I missed it as a person. I already had my career before I understood what my calling was. But I missed the process. I had already missed what is the progression of how it should be like to get that abundant life that I'm looking for. This is why people don't have the abundant life, because we are doing the order differently. And remember, if you're following me, I already told you the spiritual has protocols and there are laws, there are orders. Whether you know them or you don't know them, that's not an excuse. They want to work in a certain way. So if you don't present it in a certain way, it won't work for you that way. That's why you're going to be struggling, wanting the man to love you, wanting him to notice you, wanting him to buy you Valentine gift, wanting him to be there for you, wanting him to come back home. My darling, if you have the right calling and you are in line with your calling, you know it, you're in line with it, you will attract the covering of a man who you don't need to tell him to come back home. He will come back home. It will be the perfect person. So, as I'm saying to you, it will be the perfect person. So your career is not, oh, I want to make 10. So you are not even bothered about what other people are doing in their own career. Because if your career in the first place was aligned with your destiny, then that means you know you are doing your part on your own. So therefore, if your friends have already passed you, waiting concern you, your friend is a manager in the bank, and so what? If you want to be a counselor, what concern you with your friend that is in the bank? Do you understand what I'm saying? What is your business with a friend that works in the bank? If your calling is to take care of children, what concern you with that friend who is always going one trip or the other, going abroad every day, when your calling is a stationary type of calling where you are taking care of children? You don't want to be thinking of how you'll be going to Dubai, Kafancha. You are not bothered. If your friend says she's going to Dubai every 2 days, her husband is taking her to Dubai every 2 days, all you'll be saying is, oh, I'm happy for you, and you are genuinely happy. Please buy me perfume when you are coming. Oh, please buy me perfume, because me, that's the one I used to say, buy me perfume when you are coming. Oh, and you are doing it honestly with all of your might, and you are happy because you're doing your career. That means you're a teacher or whatever, and you're doing the counselor thing in line with your calling. You don't have time to be bitter. Any woman you see bringing other women down, biting about other women, always talking, this woman did this woman, even when it's on social media, you don't know the woman, you just come slam another woman. You are not a virtuous woman, and you don't understand your calling. It's a very, very sure fact that you don't know what you are doing. You are not operating in your calling, and you don't have a career. You are just doing yourself. And even if you have a career, you don't have a career because I told you anything you have must be sustainable and replicable. So if you are that kind of woman that another woman is struggling, she's in the same filled with you. Instead of you to praise her, instead of you to support her, you not say, hey, is she the only one? Hey, she's copying and pasting. What kind of consultants is it? Is that not social media? Instead of you to be happy. If you are a woman and you're listening to me, you're not into collaboration and partnership with other women, I'm sorry for you. That means you are not operating in your calling. Because your calling keeps you too grounded. You don't have time to be petty. You don't have time to be envious of another woman. You are other women's lifter. You are lifting other women up. This is what happens when you're operating in your fullness as a person. And everybody was designed to operate that way. So any friend that you have that does amebo, you want to delete yourself from those kind of people. And guess what? Some people don't understand something. You can delete yourself where they are not in your life, but they are in your life. Because we need all these people. Even the bad people, you need them. But you can give them space. You can be distant. You can do your love from afar. This is what happens when you understand your career. And then you're covering. Women, the worst mistake you can ever make in your life is when you marry the wrong person. If you marry the wrong person, those of you who are not married, trust me, this is not from a marriage. This is not from pastor. The worst mistake you can make as a woman is when you marry the wrong person to cover you. To cover you. Because a man who finds a wife is supposed to be a covering. He's supposed to protect you. He's supposed to support you. He's supposed to give you security. He's supposed to be a companion. The worst thing you can do to yourself as a woman is to miss that part. Is to miss that part. If you miss that part, it's one of the most miserable things that can happen. Not having a child is not a problem. Trust me. Why are we people looking for a child up and down? It's because we are missing it with the wrong people. We've missed it by being with the wrong people. If you are with the right man, even when you don't have a child for 50 years, you say, darling, don't bother. If you are with the right man, you have 4 girls. He will tell you, I love my girls. Forget about which boy. I better go away with boys. If you are with the right man, your sister-in-law comes to fight you, it's your husband that will be, he won't be the one lying the story to them. He'll be the one covering you. When your sister-in-laws come, this is my brother's kitchen. You say, no. This is my wife's kitchen. Go to your husband's house. That's the right covering. You won't bother yourself. You'll be sleeping. You will not have the need to come and prove love over prove. Hey, I have to cook. Oh. When he sees you are tired, you say, my darling, go and sleep. Stop stressing yourself. Go and lie down and sleep. You are with the right covering. Somebody say, now the man determine the sex of the baby now. You don't know what is happening. Don't tell me you don't know that in Africa, men are particular about those things. The man determines the baby, but in Africa, they make it look as if it's the woman. If we don't bring boy baby, that means, something happened. Our village people, they are controlling us. It is the normal thing, especially Igbo people. I'm sorry to say I'm Igbo, but that's the mentality. They say they want somebody to take care of their property, their inheritance. Meanwhile, inheritance, the God say, if you have a son, God says a good father leaves an inheritance for his children, all of his children, whether they are boy, they are girl. You are leaving inheritance. So why are you making inheritance be a boy thing? My darling, that is the culture that we have. I've already told the men what to do. And I'm repeating it to you. So when you have that right covering, you are looking at how can you know that this man is a right covering? Number one, he's helping you do destiny. Destiny is that your calling. That means that the first day you meet him, one of the first questions you are asking, this one I learned it from Pastor K. Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo. I learned this particular one. I've known this like a long time. The first question you are trying to ask is, you are asking all the question on the same day. Oh. It's not that you want to wait. You run be asking, how many children do you want to have in 10 days? It's that day. That day so you don't need to, that day you don't even need to be doing lovey because you are bombarding him with so many questions. When he just see you, people just sit down in the restaurant or wherever people meet. Hi, oh, you're beautiful. Hey, so what do you do? Okay, when they start with what do you do? The next question is, how many children do you want to have? After how many children? Who is your pastor? Who is your mentor? You started bombarding with the right questions so that you don't waste your time. Time is an investment. Don't invest your time on the wrong person. When you say, who is your pastor? You say, I don't go to church. You don't really go to church. Why? All these pastors, they are eating people's money. Okay, you are taking it in line with your calling. So do you pay tithe? No, I don't believe in tithe. Really, that's really nice. You are not arguing with him because you want to be sure that this person is the wrong person. Oh, really? So how is your mother and your sister and everything? Oh, I love them. I'll kill myself for my mother. See her. If it's not my mother, I can die. Hey, see her. Okay. Oh, really? That's really nice. So, okay. What's your thought? Why are you interested in me and me? Like, what are you bringing to the table? You are asking this question on that first day, immediately. The same way I'm telling you people, that's how you be doing. For those of you that are not married. And those of you that are with your husbands, go and re-ask this question. Immediately you are asking them. Why? Because you want to know. You are not asking him, what are you doing? For me, I don't like to ask men, what are you doing? What are you doing? I know what I'm doing. By the time I know what I'm doing, I need to ask you questions that align with what I'm doing. First of all, before I want to know what you are doing. So women, that shouldn't be the first question. What do you do for a living? It's a petty question to ask a man. And even is a wrong, even social etiquette wise, is a very wrong question to ask anybody. What do you do? No. You can't just come and say, what do you do? It's condescending. If I'm a housewife and I say I'm a housewife, then that conversation has ended. No. You can ask other connoting questions that can bring about that, what do you do? And if you are so eager to, you know, there's some people that you meet them because they work in a good company. They want to quickly show that off. There are subtle ways that you can do it based on the conversation you are having around. So if you're a woman, don't go asking people, what do you do? Is wrong. And even if you're going to ask that question, is in what industry do you work? You are not asking, what do you do? It's an offensive question. Social etiquette wise, don't ask people that question. So, but you're asking every other thing that is important. If I'm telling you people, most women, what I've noticed that a lot of women have left their calling for their covering. And because they don't understand that calling, it didn't make them to have the right covering. This is my own mistake. I didn't know my calling, so I didn't know what to expect from a man who is supposed to cover me. Women, the first day you meet any man that wants to date you, if you see that he's not supportive, if you see that in any of the conversation, he doesn't seem like someone that will give you security, okay? He's not aligning himself with what you are doing. That is, see, forget money. Money will come. Money is even in miracles, guys, as I'm talking to you today, I don't have cash at hand, but I make bold to tell you by the truth of everything I know as a business person, money is the easiest thing anybody can get when it's time for you to get it. And money is the simplest blessing you can ask God for. It's the simplest thing you can ask God for. Money is so simple. All you need for money is just one knock, back. Every story has changed. And I'm being sincere with you. That's why I don't worry when I don't have money. When I don't have money, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, maybe God is doing something. God wants me to learn something. That's how I'm thinking about it in my brain. Like, as I am now, God is upgrading me to something. So I'm not really bothered about the noise of what's happening around me. And somebody should learn it. It's not everything that is happening. There are some people that will be in my situation by now, maybe they would have been depressed. Oh, your husband left you. Hey, you lost your play and learning center. Oh, you lost this one. You lost your documents. You lost this. You lost that. They will not be thinking maybe they've done something to God. Or maybe God does not like them. What if it's an upgrade? What if God wants me to now marry somebody that is in America and he wants me to go there? How will I know? You have to be happy in everything. You must know yourself. You must know what is happening to you at the time that is happening. For the reason why it's happening. There must be a reason. There must be a reason. And you must know. And when you know that you are aligning yourself with those things, is when you have peace that surpasses all understanding, regardless of what you're going through. You have peace. You are not overly. There are some people that they have everything now that I'm talking about, but they are not as happy as I am. They are not as well rested as I am. They are more worried than anything you can imagine. And they have everything they want. Something is missing. Something is missing. That's what I'm discussing with you people. So when you are asking the question, you are looking at all these things. If you are with a man that is not transformed in his mentality, I'm not saying he must go to school. Women are so carried away. He's not a graduate. Forget the graduate. There are so many graduates that are not transformed in their mind. They are graduates. There are many people that they've been living abroad for 20 years. They still behave as if they were in the lungu. As if they were in the lungu. Shala, hi, thank you. Shala says, well done, Martina. Good job. Thank you. I appreciate you. So it's not about he went to school, he didn't go to school. That 4 walls, school is not just that 4 walls. School is anywhere you're getting knowledge, exposure, and experience. Even the school of these days, for me, is a waste of time. Unless you're going to Harvard. If your school is not Harvard, personally, I feel like you shouldn't go to school. Personally, me, that's my opinion. If you're not going to places that when you go to the school, you spend the money, you will see the benefit of what you are doing. Please don't go. Those of you that are in Africa, I am telling you, if you are a parent in Africa right now, you're better off taking your children to alternative education spaces than saying you are going to go and spend money in one school that they will go to the school. I told you people how I studied computer. I did diploma in computer. Computer, I did not even, only 2 times I touched computer in the whole years that I did the diploma. By the time I went, hey God. By the time I went to Asia, first time I went to cyber cafe, If you see some children playing computer games, tapping everything, me, I was there trying to do Excel. They gave us assignments in the school. And inside my school, we had like a big cyber cafe or something. It's not like it's like a computer center, but you have to pay. I said, what? No. The one they taught us in, the one they were teaching me in Nigeria is StarCom. That was not computer, it's StarCom. Hey, I just saw those children. I said, my children must be like this. From that time, I started loving Asian children. They are smart. So that's what's going to happen when you are not with the right man. The man must be transformed in his mind. I already explained it before. When he's transformed in his mind, there are certain beliefs that he won't have. So when you're asking him, how many children do you want? He will be telling you, well, it depends on how many me and my wife discuss about. I can't make that decision. I have to make it with my wife. That's the kind of way he'll be answering you. Then you know he's transformed in his mind. When you ask him, who is your mentor? He will call some. He say, but for me, I'm under the tutelage of this mentor, blah, blah, blah. He's a good man. I've learned a lot, but you know what? I'm still work in progress. So what do you do? Even the way he will say, what do you do is a place of humility and the knowledge of the fact that he's whoever he is by the grace of God. Not, I have 10 containers, I have 5 this, I have 10 cars, my cars just came this, blah, 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 blah. Those kind of people, you're going to have a problem with them when you marry them. That means that they will be bragging their way all through. You won't even be able to talk. When you tell him what you do, as a person, he's excited for you. That's how you know the person that you are going to be with you. From that first day, you'll be knowing these signs because the red flag starts from that first day. On the first day, you tell him, I'm a business growth and a digital marketing strategy. Wow, that's really nice. Wow, this is good. So what do you do in your business? He will leave that conversation of, oh, you're so beautiful. He's not asking you. He's not interested in your destiny and in your career so that you will be that helper that he wants you to be. That's how he finds you with these things that I'm talking about. How is he going to find you? It's not just the beauty. You're beautiful. Yes, the beauty is part of it. Of course, you're not going for that date without wearing makeup and all those kind of things. Yeah. Okay. So he already told you he likes you. If he didn't compliment you, some of them will compliment for compliments, but you will know when he really compliments you. So you're now knowing that, okay, this person has really, really found me because he's interested in what I'm saying. He's putting his mind in everything that I'm doing. He's putting his mind in the things that I'm saying to him. But if you are having somebody and that person is not, his mind is not in what you're doing, his mind is not in the things you're saying. You are saying A, he's saying hey. So I was thinking maybe we should go and chill out. Maybe we should go. Somebody just met you today talking about going to chill out. Chill out where? Let me know who you are first. Where are we chilling? You're back. Fatma say I'm back. Ladies, do you understand where I'm coming from? A lot of people, we know about our career. We know the kind of husband we want, but we don't know our calling. We are not concerned with it. People are not teaching us about it. And I'm saying it's time we start understanding it. Even if you're already married, even if you've already made that mistake, guess what? Better late than never. Start to think of yourself. What is the difference between my career and my calling? Ladies, if you know, tell me already. Let's know. Omo, what is your calling? Jennifer told me her calling. We're going to use Jennifer's calling to discuss. So Jennifer says, you're right. Only who has not tested the life will be bothered. Okay. I haven't seen. Jennifer says something about her calling. I am an intercessor. Okay. And let's use it. Tell me what kind of man to marry. And I've turned to predictor. And you are an intercessor. You are interceding for people. That means that an intercessor job is in the same, group with being a mediator, like me as well. But an intercessor is in a different way, in the sense that it's not from only prayer. Intercessory is not just about praying, because when people hear that word intercessor, they think that it's about only praying for people. You're praying for people. No, it's helping people connect the dots as well in a good way. That's your burden to help people connect the dot. Maybe and somebody comes to you, I want to do business. You by yourself now, you'll not be the one trying to help the person find where you find this product from, find where you do this. By yourself, you'll be burdened with it. That's what intercessor does, So your friend is having, she doesn't have money. She just told you casually. You now you start thinking, hey, my friend doesn't. You see that girl that they killed her friend? That girl that they killed her friend recently, when the friend that went to look for a job, that kind of person, her calling is to be an intercessor. You saw how worried she was, the role that she played. Her friend just told her, I don't have transport money. She has sent transport money. She has asked her what to do. She has done this. She has done. This is what an intercessor does. Now, and the thing you're looking for in a man is they are basic things that are just there. How do you know the man to marry? Number one, first, as an intercessor, that man must align with your calling. He must be okay with you being that kind of a busybody. Busybody, forgive me to use that word. I'm not being condescending. I'm talking about it literally. Because after a while, when you're living with a man for a long time, this is how your actions will look like. What it concern you? She says her husband wants to leave her. What's your business? She says she is going to a party. What's your business? Why are you the one choosing the clothes she will wear? You get where I'm coming from. That man must be okay with the lifestyle of who you are by nature. So you're asking me, how can you know the man to marry? My darling, anybody that tell you they can tell you the man that you can marry, that person is a liar from the air. That question you're asking me is like you want me to take the place of God. That's a big question that nobody, pastor, bishop, pope, marriage counselor, whoever can tell you who you can marry. No, man. Nobody can tell you. It is God that brings that kind of person based on your calling. But what I can tell you, what are the signs that you can look out for the man that you want to marry? Number one, I've already explained to you. The man must be doing your destiny with you. He must help you align with your destiny. That means that on that first day you met him, okay, you now give him 1 or 2 stories about how you have been an intercessor without using the word the intercessor, and see what his reaction is. Oh, today I went to help some girls in the, maybe one girl that was raped and everything, you know. I haven't eaten since morning and I'm just worried. I really want the girl to be okay. You know what? After here, can we both go to see if the girl, even if it's a lie, you are trying to test to see if this person, and guess what? If he's the one and you are his missing rib, guess how he'll answer? Oh, okay, you know what? Why don't we go? Why don't we go? Somebody said God doesn't pick spouse. Okay, I will explain that. God doesn't pick the spouse for you, but equips you with the wisdom. Okay, thank God. Okay, thank God I didn't jump. Exactly what I'm saying. It's not like God is going. See, let me tell you something. Almost in line with what you're saying. Darlings, if you're on earth here, God doesn't do anything for you again. God does not do anything again for us as we are on earth. God has passed on. He has given us every right to be able to do everything we want. And how did he give us? By giving us choices. What we can do based on our prayers, based on when we are asking him for something, is to give him the legal access to allow things to work for us as his will is in heaven for us on earth. This is why Jesus taught us how to pray. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The only thing we do as humans, when we pray to God, our prayer number 1 is to worship God, to fellowship with God, and to give God the legal permission to help us because even when you are not stuck, to help us in the way that it will be befitting to us. Unfortunately, most people just go to God only when they are stuck. By then, they're already stuck. Because the average of us, we don't have that intel to know what is God's will for us in heaven. And the only way we can know is through prayers, where we go and say, God, please help. And you can't call on God and he will not help you. Unless you are not obeying the laws that govern you on earth. This is why when people say, oh, don't pay tithe, this one, I'm laughing at them as if when you are not paying tithe, you are doing the pastor. No, it's a principle for you to govern you to have financial. And people say, what of the people that don't have? But those people, they are paying tithe, they are paying something that covers up for one thing or the other. They are following some sort of laws. If you give alms, you will get something. Most of those people, they pay tithe to the church. You just don't know because you are not in their confines. Rich people actually pay tithe. In their mind, imagine someone who gives a church $1 million. What is he doing? What is that? You think that one is free gift? He gives the church $1 million. In America, anybody who is in the Western world knows, if you've given the church $1 million or you give anything towards charity, you are getting a tax return back. I don't even need to talk about business here for you people to understand. It's people that are not in that level that don't understand what those people do. Those people, they pay tithes even more than you. And heavy tithes. Heavy. In fact, most of you don't know. You see these rich men, they even call on pastors to come and pray for them when they need to do things that are important. They know the importance. You now want to do your things, you do. You won't go with anybody that has a covering. Rich people have a particular organization, a particular charity that you will see them, they'll say, we're donating our so to this particular charity. Children, all the time they're doing it. Why? They know the importance of putting your seeds in a particular place so that you can get a particular harvest. They know the importance. Keep deceiving yourself as a Christian. Why would they tell you we are doing it for the DC Children Hospital? We are giving this charity, or we are playing this game for the this hospital. Why are they always working with a particular? Why are they not spreading it across? Why does Kim Kardashian always give one charity? Why doesn't she used to give all the whole charity in the whole world? Why? Why doesn't she give her money? 1 million, she can share it across 10 charities. Why do they now raise $1 million and give it to only one charity? These people, they understand the protocol that you don't understand. Stop deceiving yourself. And they have people that are teaching them these things. They paid money to learn these things. They are paying for it. They pay for people to advise them. What are you supposed to do? So, let's continue with your question. So, in line with what Omo is saying, God is not going to give you that husband. Your husband must find you. But if you are doing your destiny, you have the wisdom to ask your husband questions that can show you that this person is in line with my destiny, is going to help me do destiny well. And those questions, trust me, they are not things that people can pretend. A lot of women, if we're sincere with ourselves, we see the red flags with these men. We see it. It's not that we don't know, but we make excuses for it. So you have asked that man that question that day. If a man will not help you do destiny, when you told him you wanted to leave that dinner, can you come with me? He'll say, oh no, I just want to have some time with you, and after that I have a meeting. When he give you the excuse, you are knowing that this person, this is my number one red flag. This person will not help me do destiny. And it's not to say that only one situation will make you know, but I'm telling you, if you try him in a couple of days, his true color always shows, because they don't see it coming. You are the one that knows the yardstick for what you've already done for yourself to be able to say, this is the kind of man that I want. And then you start to pray the good prayer intentionally. Most of us women, we are praying and miss. If you know your calling, you won't be praying and miss. Some women say, God, I just want a man that is going to love me, that is going to care for me. If you have your calling, that man must love you. If you have the calling, that man is going to care for you. It's a must. That cannot be the prayer you're now praying with God. You're not praying, God, help me to be a woman that can help my man do his destiny. Help me to be a good manager. In the projects that we are going to be doing together as a person, help me to find one that his project will align with my project. So that it's not when you want to go and donate money to charity. That's when your husband will now say he wants to build house in the village. I'm looking for trouble. This is a shade. That's the time your husband will now say, when you want to beg him for money for your charity program, that is the day that he remembers that he wants to go and build house in the village. No, it can't happen. So this is now the kind of prayer point you'll now be praying with God. God, may me and my husband's journey, may it complement each other. May it not collide. You will not be praying for love. You won't be praying for money. Hey God, please let him love only me. Let him not do. No, that cannot be your prayer point after you know who you are. It can't be your prayer point. And this is what the true meaning of virtuous woman actually is. This is the true meaning of what a virtuous woman is. The Deborah story I'm telling you. By the time the guy came to the lady's house, he says, is there food? I'm hungry. She made milk. Did the milk very well. Everything, they came and they took that guy in the man's head. That's how they got that victory. You know your worth. You know what you can do. You know yourself. No matter what is happening around you, you are not concerning yourself. How do you know the man that you're going to marry? And I'm still explaining to you. Number 2, that man has an altar. It is that first day you are asking him that question. Who is your pastor? Who is your mentor? What church do you go to? If he says, I don't go to church, how can you be with that kind of man? Can that man help you do destiny? Anybody that does not have an altar cannot help you do destiny. He must have either juju altar or God altar. And he will tell you. The ones that have juju altar, they brag with it. If he doesn't have an altar, how can he help you achieve your destiny purpose? Because those kind of people, if you're a woman that is an intercessor, you are going to different countries, you are helping. See, somebody like you can also be a lobbyist in your profession. Your career can be you being a lobbyist, conflict resolution. That can be the career that you will have, solving conflict resolution you'll be working for international organizations. That can be your career in line with your calling. See how we merge her calling. Anne's calling is to be an intercessor. What kind of career will be good? And as an intercessor, you have no business saying you want to be a digital marketer. It doesn't go with your calling. You can't be a digital marketer like me. As an intercessor, you want to work with UN organization, conflict resolution, peace conversation. You can be an advocate. Abuse children, people that they are abusing. This can be you interceding for them, talking on their behalf. This is the perfect career that will suit you. So when you now have that kind of career and you're not looking for the husband that will marry you, or the husband is looking for you, it must, and you don't want somebody that when you have international job, you want to go to UN, UNESCO, whatever in Geneva, he will not tell you you cannot go. Because he has never traveled before and he's threatened by your success. How will you know? Is that day you are gisting with him? Oh? Is the day you are gisting with him whilst you're cutting. You won't even get to the level of cutting. It's those first days he's trying to ask you, because that's the time you can really know everything. Martina, please do my own next. Career and calling. No, tell me now, yeah, now tell me your calling now, so I'll do your own next, so I can tell you what your career can possibly be. And I'm being honest with you. So you are now knowing that this man has an altar. If he has an altar, yes, he tells you, what church do you attend? I attend Living Faith. It doesn't matter the church, because guess what? It is one church. Even when you call him and he say, which church? He says Living Faith. You tell him your own church, Catholic. You now say, Catholic is not serious. He is not your own. He is not your man. Any man that has an altar, we understand that all of those things, they are the religious, unnecessary, profound, barbaric doctrines that have come up. He will tell you it doesn't matter. Even if you were a Muslim girl, it's Omo, I know now. Omo, tell me your career now. Tell me your career, your calling. I know it's you. I know your career. You are a counselor now. See, you are a counselor, but what is your calling? Is your calling also to be a counselor? No, that's what I'm asking you. Tell me. But I'm still answering Anna. I'm answering Anne, because I'm telling Anne how she knows the qualities to find out in the. This is the wisdom of finding that man that will align with you. If you are really his bone of bone. When you tell him the church you are going to, you're a Catholic, and maybe you're a Catholic or whatever, or even if let's say for instance now, you tell him your church and your own pastor is a pastor that people have been talking bad about. Okay, me, I don't join people to talk bad about men of God. But which pastor will I use now? Who is the most pastor that people used to talk about in a bad light? Okay, TB Joshua. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say your husband goes to Christ, the guy you meet, he goes to Christ Embassy, or he goes to Kingsley Okonkwo's church. There's nobody in Kingsley Okonkwo's church that will be thinking like that. So let me not even, you can't be going to David's Christian Center and be having myopic thinking. That one I know for sure. Let me not use Kingsley Okonkwo. Let me put Pastor K down. Because Pastor K, all his disciples, they are correct in their head. Let's say you are going to Christ Embassy, and that's not to say Christ Embassy is not correct. I want to show you an example. There are some people in Christ Embassy, they will say Pastor Chris or Yaklu. They just believe that Pastor Chris is the only pastor that is making sense. Okay, you now tell him that you go to Pastor TB Joshua's church. A man who will come to you and say, why are you going to TB Joshua? I don't believe in that man. That man is fake. That means that man doesn't know anything about honor. I'm talking about honor from tomorrow. I'll teach you people that one. So when it says that to you and it is condescending of your own man of God, you know that man cannot be your man. You know automatically that you see that man, you can't be a covering over my head, because it means you don't understand spirituality. So that is that thing. If he has an altar, when you are talking about your own pastor, really, that's really nice. That's good. That means that we'll get to meet each other's pastor. These are how people will be talking. And guys, it doesn't matter whether you don't like all this, but you don't know whether a man is born again or is fake or is. My dear, this one does not have to do with born again of whether you're going to heaven or not. This is the automatic standard for you to have a happy marriage. If not, you are deceiving people. All these women say my marriage is happy. Say lie. Something is lacking. If your man is not in these things I'm saying, you are lacking in something. It is this number one. These are the protocols of finding a good husband. Protocols. Even if he's born again, there are born again husbands that don't have these things. That's what I'm explaining to you. So I'm not saying look for a born again. I'm saying the man must be fearing God. And if you fear God, you must have an altar. If you fear God, you must have a mentor. If you fear God, you will have somebody that you listen to. If you fear God, the person will help you do destiny. If you fear God, you have a transformed mind. You are willing to learn. You are telling the man, you know, I've lived in different continents. He's not saying, what do you go there to go and do? Oh, really? Tell me more. Omo, I believe my calling is to help children live successfully through life, and my career is educator and counselor. Okay, Omo, this is your calling. Your calling is to help children, empower them for a better world, empower them to. So, to be honest with you, your calling now aligns with your career. Because if it's helping children, educator and child counseling actually goes. So you are in par. My own issue now, that is a question that you might want to ask rhetorically. That means you're not answering me on the platform. You are thinking about it based on the topic is, which one did you do first? Did you understand your calling before your career? Because if you understood your calling, okay, that means that you would have attracted the right person. Then that means you're on your way to a blissful marriage. Because if you understand that children is your issue, children are things you need to do, meaning your husband must be prepared to be seeing you with children, playing all about, being sometimes you will wear only chalks. You can't be working with children and be wearing koi shoes. That means your husband might nearly never ever see you wearing high heels. Maybe. Very rarely will he see you, because like me, I'm a child educator. I love children so much. It's so difficult. Even koi, I don't know how to work with koi. Why? I'm always working in basket or slippers. Even my church people used to say, Sister Princess, see how you came out. See, I'm not concerned about dress, because I can go somewhere and there are children and I need to fill in the position. That's my passion. There are many children, they are making noise. The parents can't concentrate. Before you know, I'll just say, hey, children, come, let's do this. Okay, let's go. Everybody say, we, everybody say. I will already start doing that in any way I find myself. So, Omo, if you are that kind of person, yeah, Omo says, Tina, what's my own career? Tell me now, tell me your calling first. That one says, that's okay. Pastor Keba, Pastor K is one of the pastors that are doing amazing for people. There are not many pastors that I talk about, but when I call any pastor, yeah, you know that pastor, my soul, my spirit, soul, and body, it enters with the pastor. I know that this one is not deceiving. It's sent from God. And I've known Pastor K for a very long time. So I know it's not those wayo pastor. Say, yep, standard. Okay, so Omo, do you understand where I'm coming from? So if you are now with the right person, yeah, and you did your calling before your career, your husband will not be minding if you are not wearing koi. There is no one day you will fight. You say, come on, go and dress up. If you don't do makeup, like the normal standard for children educators, you actually don't wear jewelries. You are not allowed, if you're doing it the right way. Like abroad, they don't allow us to overly wear jewelries because we're working with children. You might be jumping, the jewelry will fall down and match them. Some parents will say that's how the teacher stole their earring or did this one or did that one. That means that your husband he won't be worrying you too much. If you are not that kind, he won't be worrying you if children are always around you. If you're always watching cartoon instead of you to be watching that nice movie. You understand where I'm coming from? This is how you will know that he's aligning himself with your calling and your career. He's pushing you towards it. When you come up with the idea, you're telling him some of the crazy things, or crazy mean good crazy now. You're telling him what the children, like we that work with children, we tend to talk about the children we work with a lot. I don't know if it happens to you, Omo, but when I come home, like when I was working with children, I'll just come home, I'll tell my children, hey, do you know this person did this? Annabelle did this. Kimberly did this. I'll be telling my children the story of other children and all their behavior, what I noticed about them, yeah, studs, natural makeup and cough, exactly. So you know, natural. So your husband is cool with this kind of thing, right? That's when you know, because there's some husbands that they know that this is your calling, this is your career. Then you now say, why don't you used to fix your hair? I don't like the way you don't used to make up. That is when that kind of husband will now be giving you problem for makeup. You don't dress well, you don't do the, but he knows that you can't afford to be wearing all dressed up and slayed up, because you can assume your position at any time. So this is one of the things that you will know, and you would have known it when people were conversing before your cutting. You would have known all these things, and most times we know these things, but we keep them as a red flag. I'm waiting for you, partner. Tell me your calling, so I will dissect it for you. So we know all these things. Some of us, we look at these red flags, we keep quiet, we don't talk about it. We don't say anything. Like me now, when I was working in the bank, the day that my spouse came to the bank to come and see me the first time, that's like, so this is how people used to do. When he already started complaining. So this is how people used to do in your bank. All these bankers said that they used to sleep with women. And I'm still busy telling you that I'm not in marketing. I am in funds transfer. He said, it doesn't matter whether funds transfer or no funds transfer. All the bank girls, I hear that bank girls, especially Zenith bank girls, they used to do prostitution and everything. This one. And now, we have just met, but I had to be defending myself. I didn't know that that's how I'll be defending myself all the days of my life. You saw it as a red flag. Why am I just meeting you and I'm having to defend that I'm not in marketing? I'm not in that category. I'm in funds transfer. I don't need to go and look for money from anybody. Why am I defending myself in the couple of days that I'm meeting you? Some of you women, you are seeing this red flag. You are keeping a blind eye. Because you like the person. And that doesn't mean that person is a bad person. I've just told you people, the father of my children, he's a very nice person. If you see him, you like him. He's a very likable person. Unfortunately, he's not the person for me. Because if he was the person for me, he won't even, his sister cannot go to my village and go and lie against me. Though he himself, he will not lie against me. Himself, even if I'm a lazy girl, let's imagine that I don't do any work. He'll be the one covering up for me. Even if his sister sees my house is dirty, like he would tell her, my wife just came back from work, oh, don't mind. He would have even cleaned it up for me if he was doing destiny my way. He will be so supportive. He cannot see me that there is a job to give me 13,000. He will say, don't go. Ha. I said, call Donald Trump today. Tell Donald Trump that you want to call his daughter to come and speak at your event for $13,000. Okay? They will increase it. They'll say, can I come for 200? If you can make it 200, I'll be there the next day. As rich, as wealthy, as everything that they are. Very well connected. They will still come and take that job. Make it for see people that know what they are doing. So I say, don't go. What is your reason for not going? The reason itself is not even a reasonable reason. You didn't say, don't go because I will miss you. If you go out, I can't live without you. I cannot do without you. I will kill myself. Let me even know that that's the reason. You say, because Abu Dhabi men will be following me. Now, is it not the men that are still following me? Did they still leave me alone? Even with my big belly, they are following me. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's because that person wasn't destined to do my destiny with me. He didn't understand my calling. Me, myself, before I even put the blame on him, I did not know who I was. If I knew who I was, as he was telling me, why are you not in marketing? I'll just say, whoa, I beg, don't carry your reggae and spoil my blues. As we are getting married, I had my 2K car. I had bought a car for myself as a young girl. No man bought the car for me. Small jalopy, Hyundai car. Are you sure it's not a man that bought this car? You know, women, this one. When you have men that cannot believe that you can do something by yourself, you're already having problems. So you are a woman now, you are dating a man, and every time he's telling you, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Why do you have to prove yourself to be sure? It's either you take my yes or you don't take it. So you start on that premises of not having to prove yourself. You start on the person not trusting your words for whatever reason. It's because you have that calling. And let me tell you something, ladies. Yeah, whether you know your calling or you don't know your calling, you are operating in it in one way or the other. The only thing is that you are not intentional about it, where that you are not using it for your good. So what do I mean? All along, even though I didn't know that that was my calling, I used to counsel people. I used to advise people. I used to be an intermediary for tell them things, you know, maybe my friends, or maybe when we're small, somebody will my mother beat me and say, don't cry, you know, you're a strong girl. You know, I'll be supporting my friend, encouraging her, boosting her. Before you know, she's already happy. I used to do all of those things, even though I didn't know that that is my calling. Yeah. So your gifts, your goal, your purpose for life is happening around you. You just don't know it. You are not just using it for your good. And guess what? When you are walking in line with your destiny, with your calling, trust me, it will pave way for you. That's where you are going to see money that is sustainable and replicable. Did you people hear me? It is in your calling. This one, Justin, thank you. She buttressed it to me again. Very, very well. Like the Holy Spirit used her. Not just Justin, a pastor called me. Hey, Pastor Charles too called me yesterday. You know, and seconded what Justin has told me. It's like God wanted me to hear that thing very, very well. See, your calling is what is going to make you have money. Sustainable and replicable kind of wealth. That's what, when you are operating under your calling. Look at all the women that are operating under their calling, that are doing their destiny according to. Look at Oprah. Look at the people that are living in their destiny life. That is where they eat. That is where the real money comes. So stop looking for your career to give you money. Your career is just to give you normal money that you can use complementarily to what your husband is bringing to the table. And I hope I answered that question. See, go and look at the video of a virtuous man. And it's a video before today's video. If you watch it, you will see all the qualities. There are 5 qualities that I said every woman must look out for the virtuous man. And the man himself has to have it. The man himself has to have it. When you understand your calling, your career, then your covering, you have a good covering, is a man that knows himself. That man is helping you, he's transformed, he has good relationship with people. He will protect you. He will provide. You don't need to tell him, oh, darling, there is no milk. You don't need to tell him, baby, I want to make my hair. He sees you've carried this hair for 2 weeks. You say, darling, you've been carrying this hair for 2 weeks. I don't feel comfortable. Go and make your hair. Everything that you need, he's giving it to you. Even though it's, and women, don't be carried away. A lot of women, they are looking for men that have plenty money. I've always been that person, although now I've changed now. Now I don't used to say it again. Before I used to say, a woman can stay with that money. Now I want the money. But guess what, guys? Jokes apart now, I'm serious. Do you know that what most people, for me as a woman, I'm that kind of woman that I want consistency in something, rather than, I'm not the kind of woman that I want you to give me 50 million one time, then tomorrow you don't give me. I don't want that. I prefer that you're giving me 10,000 every day till the 50 million. I prefer that, because to me it's consistent. I can plan myself. I can live within my budget. I know that every month my husband gives. Men, if you are going to watch this video, I'm teaching you what to do. Your woman does not need 1 million. Even if you're giving her 1,000, that's what she wants. Consistency in that 1,000. If I know that every month my husband keeps me on a salary, or he gives me pocket money of maybe 5,000, trust me, I won't be looking for 6,000. I would have planned my month. So I'm now looking, what are the things I want to buy? Anything I want to buy. If I want to buy Brazilian hair of 200,000, I know that I have to save for over 10, but I know my 5,000 is coming constantly. If I want to buy lipstick, I'll go and look which lipstick is under 5,000. You will see me, I will cut my coat according to my... Women have the ability to do this. What makes women not cut their coat according to their size is because you give them 500 million today. Tomorrow you will not now give. You will not be counting the one you gave yesterday, forgetting that as a man, your responsibility is to protect at all times. Your responsibility is to provide at all times. God did not say provide today, don't provide tomorrow. No, it's not a trade by barter kalo thing. It's a law and a protocol that you must observe at all times. That's what makes you a man. The consistency and discipline in doing the laws that govern us on earth. So if I were you and you were a man, better have an agreement with your wife. Okay, my dear, come. For the house feeding, for this, for that, I'm going to be giving you 50,000. Even if it's 20,000, even if it's 2,000. Now, when you now give her 2,000 and she wants more than 2,000, that is where her career money can come in. That's where it will come in. Like me, when I'm going to Nigeria, I ask him, give me money. He does the one he can do. The remaining one is on my accord. People that I dash money to, because I know that he doesn't like that kind of, he doesn't support me for that kind of thing. All the other ones I'm doing is my money. That is why nobody can come and say, it's your brother's money. No, 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 no. They can't do that. They cannot, because it is my money. It is my money. So it's my own money now I can now use to pay tithes. It is my own money now. It's my money I can now use to dash somebody something. All those people on social media I used to dash that I don't know. It is my money. That's where I can't carry the person that does not believe in dashing you money, his money, and come and give you because I want to form I'm a woman that has money. No, I'm giving you from my own pocket, from the little I have. That is what you are supposed to do with your career money. So that even if your husband does not give you plenty, now my husband gives me 5,000 and I want something of 50,000, I will put my own 45,000. After all, I'm working. My children, he wants my children to wear okrika, bend down, pick. No problem. We will not have a fight. This is what I'm telling a man. If you're a man, the problem we're having with men that are not providing is because they want to overly do it big. I say, woe betide you. Give your wife, even if it's okrika money, and she comes on Facebook and tell us her husband only used to give her 500. We are the ones that will pounce on her. So you even saw 500, you did not manage. If my husband now gives me money, go to okrika, go and buy bend down boutique clothes. Okay. And I know that I'm that kind of woman that likes class. Well, I will use my own career money, add it up, and go to boutique, rough and tumbles, wherever, whatever couture, and I'll go and buy clothes for my children, where I don't need to burden the man. You cannot do that if you don't know your calling and you don't have a career. That is why so many women, they are waiting for their husband to give them the money. If he doesn't give them the money, they cannot operate. It's a different case if you're going through something and you're not that kind of woman. Because I need to put it in that context. There are some women, they are not lazy women. And so sometimes, once in a while, they need that support from their husband. But guess what? If you are being with the right person, the support will naturally come. You won't say it 2 times. And to all the men out there who are good coverings to their women, God bless you people. You found a wife, you found a good thing, and you are obtaining favor. Favor will come. Watch out, those men that don't take care of their wives, they don't have sustainable wealth. Trust me, I'm telling you a fact. Fact. Those people that don't support, they don't provide, they don't protect their spouse. They don't have they will have money, but the money keep going and coming. They'll be struggling. Make money today, go. Make money tomorrow, go. That's what will be happening to them because they're not doing it according to how it should be. So I hope you people really understand. If you like the video, like Patman, I'm waiting for you. You didn't tell me what you're dissing. Patman, your career. Patman, I don't know what your calling is, but I know that you're a very nice person. You're a very protective person. Guys, Patman, if you insult me, Patman in university, she can kill you for my matter. Anybody that says anything bad about me, Patman is ready to tear you apart, you know. Partner is very sacrificial. Partner, this is what I know of you. And I'm not just saying it because we're on social media. This is who you really are. You're someone that you can put out yourself for somebody. You stand by your friend. You're a real loyal friend. You are very true. You know, anybody, partner will cover you up. Partner is there for you 100%. She's there. If it's fine, she will give it to you. I know, at least. I know that there was some group of girls I used to do my amebo. Partner said, I will go and beat them. Allow me, let me go and help you beat them. They were my neighbors. Partner said she will beat them. So I understand. So partner, this is what I know about you. But still you still need to know what do people really say more about you. From there, when you pick it up, you see in line with what you do as a person. Then your own career. Your career, I don't know now. It's when you find your calling that you know your career. But if you're asking me based on what I know, like being sacrificial, and all those kind of things, you know. I mean, being an educator is not a bad thing as well. Yeah. Being an educator, being an intercessor, also even being a mediator can work well with you because you are a sacrificial person. You are someone that if you have 10, you can give somebody 9, even 10. That I know perfectly about you. So, I mean, but you still need to tell us what your career is, you know, and your calling is. That way I'll be able to tell you what the career is. So, ladies, these are the 3 most important things you need to be intentional about. You need to be intentional about your calling first. When you know what your calling is, you can now chart a career that aligns with the calling. Then you can now be praying for the covering that we are going to find. Women, it's not our duty to go and look for men. Men are supposed to find us. But God gives you that wisdom to suggest the one that is finding you. Because so many men come to us at the same time. How do you know who is the real one? It's the wisdom of knowing who is working in line with your career and your calling. But your calling, you can't do your career before your calling. If you've done that already, you've already erred, and you should retrace your step. You should be working more in your calling. If you notice, I've not been doing my business video because I'm operating more from my point of my calling. Because that's what God wants me to do. That's not to say that my career has died. It's still there. In fact, I have one work to do now for somebody, you know. But what am I saying? You are operating because that is the purpose for which you have been created for. So at all times, as women, we must try to work from the place of our calling more. Our career can be there, or if you're someone who can manage the two at the same time, by all means, do them. Let people see you that you are this and so this. So those of you that write lover of God, this one, no, instead, on your Instagram, why don't you put like me? I haven't changed mine. I'm going to change mine, you know, because I'm still going through the process with what God is talking to me. Like me on my Instagram now, instead of me to just put only, okay, not on Instagram because Instagram has a certain way, but on my Facebook, I can actually put Kingdom Mediator, business growth and digital marketing, so that you know, mother of 4. If I was a wife, I could put wife, you know. So you know that it's in line with the 3 C's of what you need. And then by the time we make it, all of you who are listening to me, you share the video. If 20,000 women, 100,000, 1% of the whole women in the whole world, if we understand our calling, our career, and then our covering, okay, who is the right person that is covering? We've chosen the right covering for us. We're not going to be having problems in marriages. We're not going to be having problems in our life. We're not going to be unnecessarily bitter people. A lot of women are bitter. A lot of women, they are pepper fruit in their body. They see somebody progressing, they are angry about it. They see you have husband, they are angry. They see you have a child, they don't have a child, they are bitter. Because they don't know who they are. And they don't know that this life, God gave everybody this thing. Everybody must amount to something. Unless you don't speak it for yourself. Unless you yourself, you don't believe it for yourself. Unless you yourself, you don't attract it or call it for yourself. That's when it will not come. But God is not an unfair person. And people need to come to the point where they stop. Yeah, God has people that he loves more based on their work with him. But there are some foundational things that he has given everybody, which includes us having a purpose for why we have come here and enjoying in that purpose. The only difference is some people enjoy it faster. Some people, that's why when it's your season, your time, and your turn, it must happen. So now the thing is, as a woman, I'm leaving you with this question. What are you really praying for? Are you really praying the right prayer? Are you really talking to God in the right manner? Are you really doing your life the right way? If you understand this conversation we've just had, yeah, you are going to be intentional about everything you're doing, even about a woman. I don't think there's anybody that has seen me and say, Martina is envious of me. No, I'm not an envy person. Because anything that is happening to you, I know who I know my own. This is why when my daughter bought the perfume, I didn't want to use it at first. I'm like, I don't like the intent behind this perfume that she bought for me because it's from a place of jealousy. It's from a place of, yes, she's a small child. Somebody might say, oh, she's a small child, but it's a place of jealousy. But I used it. Even she's sleeping. When she wakes up tomorrow, I'll tell her I've already used it, because she kept looking. You've not used the perfume I gave you. She's very sensitive. You've not used the perfume. I said, I will use it. Don't worry. But I wasn't eager to use it. There's some women that they would have started using it. Is it not the perfume? Let me be using it. Let me be spraying it. Let me be doing it. You know, they come from that bitter place. You cannot, any woman, even if the person is a side chick, you should be happy for her. She's a woman. That's when you know you're operating your calling. It's pity, you will be pitying the person. Like me, you are the girlfriend. Really, it's either two things. Either you're not the real person that he cares about, then he's going to make the choice to love you wholeheartedly, where he can find you. Or two, you are going to go in the same direction that I went. So it's pity, I will be pitying you. And if it's not pity, I also pray that he makes that decision to be kind to you. It's only two things. There's no more. How can I now be going to call girlfriend? Where are you belittling you? You don't know yourself. You are calling the woman. She's now, you people are now exchanging words. You people are now pouring acid on yourself. Waiting now. You don't know yourself. You don't know yourself. You can't be doing those kind of things. You really? Thank you so much for taking good care of my kids. How does that concern you? How? Even the woman herself, unless she doesn't, if she knows herself, she won't even be in that position. If she knows herself, she won't be in that position. Like me now, even if I was going to marry someone who has been divorced before, women, single mother, I'm just explaining to you, even if, but that will not be my lot. But if that's the case, how can you go and marry somebody who has been married before, and you don't think it wise that you need to hear from the wife? You don't think so? You don't think you need to be in good terms where you can get pointers from the woman so that you can treat your husband well? Like me, the next husband I'm going to marry, I want to know how I can make it. What happened that this thing did not work? Please don't be angry. I hope you have given me your blessing. I hope I will go all that route to do that. Please, I hope there's no problem. Please, how can I make him happier? I know he didn't work for you, but me now that he wants to work for me, please tell me pointers. Oh, when he was with me, he did this, he did that, he did. Oh, okay. It doesn't mean he will do that to me. But I will take that pointers. From that pointers, I will know what to do, what triggers, even from the pointers she's giving me, that can even tell me the kind of person he is. Because if in the pointers she's telling me this person is not a godly person, this person gets angry every 2 minutes, my dear, I will run for my life, or I will decide to bear it. Well, we make talented mistakes as women. You are going to find somebody that is not your enemy. The man that you married and chose for yourself is your enemy. And even before he became your enemy, you are your enemy by yourself, by not understanding your calling. If you understood your calling, you won't even be with the wrong person. You will be very careful who you choose. And unfortunately, women, I'm not blaming us. Do you know why I don't blame us? We didn't have that information. We come from a background where, even our parents are not teaching us what is right. So we don't know. If we knew better, we would do things better. And that's why you must take this conversation seriously. You must run with them. You must share the video. You must show your friends so that they can know. Because information is power. Look at King Solomon. What did he ask for? Wisdom, knowledge. If you have an information, you are one step ahead in the spiritual and in the physical. One of the things that the devil does not want us to know as children of God is to have information, to know what is God's love for us, to read God's word for ourselves, to know information is powerful. Exposure is powerful. So now that you know better, you can't be making certain mistakes. Those of you that are listening to me now, how can you now be fighting your husband if he has a girlfriend? You now be fighting the girlfriend. You want to be calling her phone. For what? When you be busy working with your calling, you are too busy that you are not going to leave your calling for your companion. You're not going to leave your calling to be bitter with another person. If the person doesn't value you, that's on him. And you're not even praying amiss. You're not praying nonsense prayer. You are praying the right prayer that will provoke God to work on your favor. Do you know that there are some things that you will pray for? Some other things will naturally happen by default. Like me, I'm explaining it to you people. Like me now, I am not praying to God to give me money. I don't have cash at hand. But do you know that in my prayer request, I'm not asking God for cash at hand. There are better things that I need God to do for me. Because when he does that, the cash at hand will come to. I say, God, I don't know what you are planning for me. This elevation you are taking me to, make it to be speedy. Let me find the grace and favor in your eyes and in the eyes of men. Let my destiny helpers locate me. There is no money in my conversation with God because money is too small. If I'm asking for money, all I need to do is put up. I can even decide to give my services for 90% discount. Money will show today. Understand this thing that I'm saying. I'm personally using my experience to give you this hope that you need as a woman. I don't want to give you fictitious story, tell you things that are not real. This is the reality of what some of you are going through now. So learn how to pray the right prayer. You are here now, you don't have husband. Should husband be your problem if you don't have a calling and you don't have a career? Is it husband that you are looking for? You are not working. You're not saying, God, I'm already 30. I'm looking for a job. My dear, that should not be your prayer. God, please give me a good career. Align me with my... Do you know you'll be in your calling? You'll find the right man. You don't need to go anywhere. He will find you. And the befitting one that is in the level that you are looking for. If you are the kind of person, you want a very rich man, very wealthy, this is your prayer request. My dear, if you don't have a job, I guarantee it's very hard for you to see a wealthy man. Which wealthy man is waiting for you in your street? Unless you don't have the money that you're going to be going to where wealthy men is, how are they going to find you? It's logical. But if you don't have a career, let's say you're working in Gilead or you're working in your purpose of your calling, those men that are listening to you, they'll be, do you think as I'm working in my calling, I will now meet one kind of, are you telling me that maybe the men that are in my platform now, those ones that have been coming to my inbox, by themselves for themselves, with what I'm saying, is it not enough to give them their answer? That's what I'm talking about as a woman. When they are hearing what I'm saying, and I'm saying that I am not going to go with anybody that does not fear God, does not have a mentor, and they have come to me, they already know by this conversation that, man, this lady, I know they her class, or she not go grieve for me. They know by themselves. I don't need to be condescending. I don't now need to come and say, come on, go away, you are not in my class. Who are you to come and toast me? No. They might be trying their luck. Maybe even God brought them for something else, and they don't know what they came for. They think this is what they have come for. Maybe God has brought them that they will be my destiny helpers, or they will connect me to my destiny helpers. But they are misusing it. This is why your prayer must be aligned with the right things, and that's why intentionality is the word. I hope this served you. I hope you liked the video. If you like, share it. Like it, tell me what you think. For those of you who watch it as a replay, if you want me to also tell you what your calling is and everything, we'll continue below. Just put it there and I'll say thank you so much. Omo, Olivia, everybody. Nasim Adams, you watch. Thank you. You're a man watching. I actually only added females, but it's good you watch. Chizo, thank you. Ruben, thank you. Patman, my darling. Ofang me, how are you doing? Iroka, watch. Maureen, world best, the only world best. Shola, thank you. Bright watched, Ada watched, Tiffany, mommy, how are you doing? Justina watched, Ngozi, Blessing, Lizzie, Jennifer, Blessing again, another Blessing. Anne, I hope I answered your question. Tena, I hope I answered your question. Okay, Tena didn't ask me a question, but she watched. Who again? Everyone, I appreciate you. Thank you for investing your time in watching, and I'm sure that this has blessed you. Share with your girlfriends, share with any woman that you know, and let's keep the ball rolling. Don't see you're watching. Remy, you came late. Oh, I am sorry I missed today's meeting. I was just up and about. Remy, I'll chat with you after this. I'm already finished. So watch the replay. If you watch it, keep your comments, like it, and let's go. Guys, from tomorrow, I want to be meeting up at a certain time. I'm doing like a series of lovely topics that you will find them very lovely. Don't miss my live videos from tomorrow. It's every day. It's going to be consistent. Tomorrow, let's say 8 or 9. You guys put in the comment below. Should I come on 8 o'clock your time or 9 o'clock? Let me know. Tell me 9 o'clock African time, 9 o'clock Nigerian time, or whatever time it is, so that we can choose a particular timing that I'll be coming in for this series that I want to do. You are going to love them. From tomorrow topic, if you miss it, you are not missing. These are the kind of things we are supposed to be watching on social media, honestly. Apart from the comedies and all these things, all these negative vibes, they are tiring and draining and depressing. So let's watch more of this and everything. All right then, thank you so much. Bye guys. Bye.